When I tell you the books start coming and they don't stop coming, book capitalism, I hate it. I was so genuinely offended as a reader. I'll put that in the you're on thin ice pile. I'm so paranoid every single time I open a box that a spider is gonna come out of it. It's fine, I'm up to mischief. Hey BookTube, welcome back to the channel. I am the Book Mage. Guys, I'm kind of nervous about this one. Yeah, how do I even start this? I am about to do my first ever, book unhaul. You can probably see by like the size of the stack of books beside me. I just have a lot of books. And so many of them are just books that, like, I have a limited amount of time to read and also a limited amount of space in which to keep these books. So I kind of feel like we need to do a bit of a cull. I'm actually not going to be tackling the stack though, because these are all books that are kind of newer hauls and like stuff that I know that I want to read. This might seem like an issue. This is not even the issue. I have something like at least like 10 plus boxes of books just in storage and I kind of just need to go through them. So this might end up being kind of like a long and messy sort of video. Basically what I'm intending to do is to go sit down probably over the course of like maybe a couple days, maybe like even a week. I suppose it depends how long this takes and how many books there end up being. I just need to take some time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all those boxes out and just sort through them book by book and decide what I am keeping and what I am not keeping. And it's the not keeping bit that is stressing me out. I just need to work out what I'm not going to read, what I can give away, what would make a nice gift, or what I'm just going to like either sell or donate or what have you. And I guess seeing what I've got in storage and seeing what I'm looking to get rid of, then please stick around. And yeah, it's gonna be my first ever book unhaul. My dragon's hoard of books is getting smaller. I don't really think I can delay this anymore. So the next time you see me, it probably won't be the same day because I figure I'm gonna have to start like moving things around today. If I can start filming today, great. If not, I'll see you in the future. Okay, so I am currently sitting on my living room floor in front of my sofa, and I already know this is going to take more than one session to do because there's no way I can get this done all at once. I'm just going to start going through all of the boxes of books that I have and I guess kind of trying to decide which ones I definitely want, which ones I definitely don't if there are any, because I find that very difficult, and which ones might be like potentially on the chopping block but that I might need to give like a second chance to or something, and I'm sure I can think of some videos around that. So we'll see how this turns out, but I'm just going to start. Okay, I'm seeing manga in here and I'm not getting rid of any manga. Okay, the first book in here is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is the special edition. Is it like an anniversary edition? I don't think it's signed. This is the 10th anniversary edition. I gave this book 5 stars. I do have the paperback, but it's a special edition of a book that I gave 5 stars. So I feel like I can keep this one. The Telltale Heart and Other Stories, again, I really want to read a lot of what's in here. I have already read a lot of what's in here, just like in bits and pieces over many years. And I also really, really like this edition. You can't really see, but it's holographic. It looks white, but I promise it's like holographic sheen. Yeah, this has illustrations in it as well. It's a really nice little edition. This is the kind of thing that I can maybe put on that little shelf. Like, who else but me is going to pick up Edgar Allan Poe in this household? Nobody. Okay, here's one, Graceling by Kristen Cashore. Now, I think I do still want to read this series, but I'll be honest, it's very low priority, and in terms of this copy, this is a lovely, like, anniversary copy. I don't know if they did any of the rest of this series in this format. I don't want to track down the original hardbacks. The problem is that books like this, I have some editions like this of things like The First Law, and books 1, 2 and 3 all got released in this same matching edition. Why is it that Graceling is only the first book? Where are the second 2 books in this format? This might be one that has to go on the chopping block because, like, I really like this edition. I can't just have this edition, so I would either have to get, if I wanted to read the other books, I would have to get like shittier versions of them or pay a ridiculous amount for special edition set that came out like what, like a year ago, 2 years ago, which I don't really want to do. I don't really want to give scalpers any money. I'm kind of at a loss with this one because I feel like this is not my fault. I want to read this series. It's just not for sale in any sort of matching format, which is very important. So I might put this on like a tentative chopping block in that if I read it and I really, really, really love it, I will have to figure something out. If I read it and it's just okay or mediocre, then I'm just gonna have to not read the rest of the series. Because I'm not having mismatching hardbacks and paperbacks. I'm not doing it. This is an awkward one. So the next one in this box is The Library of the Dead by T.L. Hutchu. This was a Goldsboro book, and it's a really nice, like, you can't see it, it's like a really nice like seafoam colour, beautiful edges. The thing is, so many book subscriptions do a thing where they release the first book in a series and then expect you to buy their special editions of like books 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. This is like one of my favourite colours, so I love this edition, and I did buy book 2. Book 3 I think is for sale as well, but I have not started this, and it's set in Scotland. I think it's set in Edinburgh, but it has, yeah, it's inspired by Zimbabwean, it's like a Zimbabwean inspired like fantasy, I guess, which is extremely interesting to me. Two things about that though is that I don't tend to like this kind of book, but, and also, how has this gotten so weird? Like, this is so smooth, but this side, has this been like heat damaged? How has that happened? I honestly don't know. I think it's just the Mylar. Anyway, oh, it's got a ribbon bookmark and everything. I just don't know how many books in this series there will be, and I was interested in reading book 1, but I own book 2 as well. I don't really want to buy book 3 until I've read this, but then I also don't want to miss out on not having a matching special edition set. Book capitalism, I hate it. Without going into detail, I have, should we just say Scottish related PTSD? That's a wild statement to put out there. I promise it makes more sense in context. Honestly, I don't know. It's something, library in the title, something to do with ghosts and paranormal stuff, and I feel like it's going to be really interesting. When am I going to pick it up? I know a friend that would love this. She loves Scotland, and I feel like she would really like this, so that is my backup plan, is I would just give my special editions to her. I feel like this might be one where I might need to do like a try a chapter video sort of thing, where I just, Emily from Books with Emily Fox, she does like a read it or unhaul it challenge, where she'll read like, she'll start reading a book and then either give up on it or finish it, and if she gives up on it, unhaul it. And I might have to do that with some of these, and this feels like the kind of thing that I might need to do that with, because do I want to keep 2 books on my shelves and I haven't even read 1? Oh, controversial. Okay, The Mask Falling. Now, I am going to read this series for sure. I've literally already pre-ordered the new, like, rewritten version, which I think is a fantastic idea. So I am really interested in reading this one. I really like Samantha Shannon, and I definitely want to read this series. I have 3 copies of this book, and they're all special edition copies, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this I think is I think this is the Waterstone special edition. Oh no, this is Goldsborough because it comes in Mylar. So I have the Goldsborough special edition, I think a Waterstone special edition, and then an independent, just like book designer special edition. I don't know why I did that. I think it's because I like bees. Who knows? The other thing is I cannot find book 3 of this series in a matching edition. It's super rare. It costs like £1,000. So I keep saying to myself, I will just, I don't know, download and print the cover myself and just put the matching cover on, because like, why would I not do that? Just so that when they're on my shelves, they fucking look the same. That's all I need. Like, I don't care. I really like this copy. I'm just gonna have to check between this one and the Waterstones one. I think the black sprayed edges look fantastic. I think one of them's got yellow sprayed edges, and then one of them's got bees or honeycomb printed on it. So like, I just need to pick, but I will be keeping 1 out of 3 copies. So, oh, this is where this got to. Demon in the Wood, this is the comic. I will be keeping this. This can go in my Grisha collection. Manga. Bladebreaker by Victoria Aveyard. This is this the first or second one in the... These books are dusty. Okay. I think this is book 2. This does have a beautiful map inside. It's signed and it's got some nice sprayed edges, so I'm gonna count this as like a special edition. Does it have anything under the dust jacket? No, no foils. I've heard this series might be really mediocre, but then I've heard other people say that they really like it, so I don't know. I tend to have strange opinions about things, so I'm gonna keep this because I want to know. Again, I might have to do like a try a chapter tag with whatever. If is this the first book? I think this is book 2. I'll put that in the you're on thin ice pile, but I really like that edition, even though it's chunky and takes up a lot of space. Is the writing big? Oh, the spacing is huge. Make your font smaller, make your book smaller. I'm begging. Okay, here's another one. This is the Sword of the North. This is the Grimm Company. This is book 2. I bought all 3 of these. They're all signed. They came as a complete set. They are a little bit damaged, so actually these ones I wouldn't mind putting on that shelf because they're already damaged. And also the signature. I do believe that this is a real signature, but like, it looks like a 4-year-old has written it in biro. I'm sure the guy was like hand cramping by the end of the day. But yeah, it's I'm not too bothered about like the quality of these books. I do really want to read these. I've heard nobody else talk about these books, I think, ever. It's like grimdark, men with swords. I want to read it and give it a go. And oh, it's dedicated to his mum, so that's nice. I'm definitely going to keep these ones. Oh, this. So this is my copy of Harrow the Ninth. This is a signed edition from Forbidden Planet, and it has like the little, that is so cute. I bought this because I have the very much sought after, is it the Owl Crate version or the Illumicrate version? Whoever did the special edition of Gideon the Ninth, the one with like the black edges and like the weird looking sword on like the signature page, I love that edition, but they decided to only release like 2 or 3 books in that edition, and then the rest have like the new special edition set which will all match. So I don't think I need this. I might still keep that nice edition of Gideon the Ninth if I like the books, I guess, but I don't think I need this copy as well. I really like the fucking skull though, but like I can't just keep a book for one interesting foil. Like there's no sprayed edges, there's no like special pages. I'm gonna mark this to get rid of. We have one. One book, and I've emptied that whole box. And so far, I've got rid of 1 book, but at least I know 3 that I might get rid of, which technically means 5 because they have sequels. So, on to my second box. What do we have in here? Oh, okay. Here's one of my copies of Dragon Age comics. Again, how is this? How are these books getting damaged? Yeah, this is so thin. This can go on my Dragon Age shelf. This is fine. I'm gonna keep this. I might also have this as like a bigger bind up, but I don't care. It's got Thermos on the front, so I'm gonna keep it. Next we have, okay, this is Radiance by Grace Draven. I picked this up because this comes really highly praised. I think it was Leanna from Leanna's Library that talked about this book, and it's meant to be like a romance where the humans find it's like an arranged marriage, and the girl thinks that the race of whatever race the man is like gross and ugly, but they think that about humans as well. So this is just a paperback as well, so I could totally put that on that little shelf. I don't think anyone in my household is going to pick up like I don't know, a cross-species romance. Is that what I'm reading? But I do want to read this one. I want to give it a go. I'm not big up on romance, but like I feel like it has potential. So Tale of the Tailor. I read this one. I thought it was okay. Now, I'm not a massive fan of this, and if this were bigger, I would get rid of it, but like, look at the size of it. It does also have the Latin, like the original Latin in the back, and it's got that transcribed, and then it's got, before that is the like modernized English. It's just a really nice little edition. The story in here is so mediocre, but the fact that it has the original Latin in there, I want it, I'm keeping it, and also they talk with Yorkshire accents, so I'm keeping it. Okay, the next 2, I need to figure these out. Yeah, this is Dreams of Gods and Monsters and Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. Now, I have multiple copies. What happened was, these covers, these dust jackets, are the special edition dust jackets that, was it Illumicrate released, I think? And I pre-ordered them unseen because they released Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I really liked the dust cover for that. It looks like this. It looked really nice. But you know what I freaking hate is characters' faces. This one didn't matter because it's like, it's a creature. It was creature artwork. I know it's a character, but it's a creature. These are human or humanoid. I really dislike these covers, especially this one. Who is this guy? I don't know. I hate his face. I don't want to see it. I just need to decide, I think, which version I like best. I'm going to put these technically in a pile to get rid of, but I know in my head that means figure out which one you want to keep, and if that means swapping the dust jackets and getting rid of a mismatched set, that is somebody else's problem and not mine. I'm going to keep the dust covers that I like, and I'll keep the hard covers that I like, but maybe mix and match as I see fit, so I'm just going to do that. Oh, okay, here's another one. This one sucks so much. The book and the situation. Small Angels by Lauren Owen. I bought this because I love Lauren Owen's debut novel, the like only other thing that she's written. It's nowhere near as good as her debut, it hurts to say, and I just did not really like this. So much of this was just to do with somebody's bloody marriage planning. I don't care. And I thought this would be so much darker and so much more like folklore, and like it was really atmospheric, and like the prose and the writing was good, but honestly it's not great. It's not my favourite. I have multiple copies of this, but yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. Atmosphere great, but so mediocre. I'm getting rid of this. Okay, this one, Hand of the Sun King. I'm pretty sure I have all of the books in this series. A father with roots traced back to the Emperor, a mother's family who reject the Empire, a magical path filled with secrets, entanglement with the gods themselves. Okay, it sounds really interesting. It's clearly like Asian inspired. It is in first person though, but it is also a nice special edition. Again, I think I'll do like a try a chapter. If I like it, I'll keep it. I don't feel anything when I look at this, but then, I mean, it could be deceiving. Like, it might be fantastic. I might love it. Okay, here's one. Absinthe. This is another Goldsboro special edition. I really don't like the sprayed edges. Does it have anything on... Oh, it does have cute foils. Technology has delivered the future. Chicago, Club Artemis. I don't care. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't know what this is about. I was literally bored reading the synopsis and I was skimming it. The Art Nouveau is giving me like, I don't know, like, what, like 1920s or something. Don't care. Goodbye. Where's my get rid of pack? There it is. This one, okay. The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. Now, such a nice edition of the book. Has like a little crow on there as well. I really like the map. The map is super cute. I did like this book as well, but I think I've just realised that I don't care how it ends. I don't need to know what happens. I don't care what happens to the characters in book 2. Like, it was a fine book. And I feel like for a YA, it was very good. I have like a whole review up. I probably say a load of shit because I've never liked a single book review that I've ever posted where I just talk about one book in particular. I hate trying to organise my thoughts. I can't do it. So I prefer what I say in wrap-ups usually. But yeah, I'll link it anyway. But am I ever going to read book 2? No. Am I ever going to go like... I'm never going to... It came out years ago. Am I ever going to go and try and find a matching hardcover to figure out how it ends? No. I love this cover. Like, this looks beautiful on a shelf. I really, really like this. But, like, it's not even a special edition. Lovely, lovely cover, though. But, like, do I need it? No. Can I get rid of it? Yes. Hurts to say that. Oh, my God. I'm through 2 boxes. First book on top here is Threadneedle. This literally has modern-day London on it. I'm not reading this. I know this book retails for a lot though, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. A.G. Riddle Lost in Time. This is another Goldsboro special edition. Oh, it has like a really nice like fern on the foil as well. Yeah, this is signed. This is a lovely edition. I just know that it's time travel and it's set back like millions of years. There's like dinosaurs or something, and it's like a sci-fi whodunit kind of mystery. I don't care. I'm so sorry. I don't like dinosaurs. I'm not interested in that at all. So I'm getting rid of it. Why is it all the books I'm getting rid of are all special editions? Stop it. Beautiful book here. This is the embroidered book by Kate Hartfield. This looks lovely. And, oh, rebookmark, okay. It looks lovely as a book. It has beautiful sprayed edges. That's gorgeous though. Have I ever seen that before? Have I ever taken this book out? I might need to look at some reviews for this. Here's the thing. Okay, it says brimming with romance, reimagines the dazzling period of history. I don't really care about the French. I don't really care about Marie Antoinette. I think if the fantasy is going to be minimal and if it's mainly going to be about like relationships between, it sounds like her and her mother or sisters, or I can't, my brain does not, I keep seeing 1768 and my brain will not focus. I don't think it's for me. Do any of my friends like Marie Antoinette? It's a shame because it's a beautiful, beautiful book. Look how chunky this is. Why am I taking up this much shelf space and it's not even like an epic fantasy? It's set in France. I don't care about France. I'm getting rid of it. Speaking of another big book that I know I'm going to get rid of, I hate to say it, it's this one, Ordinary Monsters. This book focuses, I think, a lot on magical children, and I'm not sure if they grow up across the story or what, but I don't like children as the focus of stories. I feel like I'm just telling you a lot of things I don't like in stories, and it seems to be all the things that subscription boxes do. But yeah, it has such beautiful edges. I love the cover so much. Starry sky, arched window, corvid. Excuse me, it's beautiful. There's nothing else special about it though, other than the fact that it's signed and has sprayed edges. Like, there's no foils, there's no special end papers, and like, again, look at the size of this book. I can't read a book this big just so that I can say that I've read it, just so that I can keep this cover on my shelf. I'm so sorry to say it, I really like, I love this edition, it's beautiful. I just wish it were a different book inside, and it's not, so on eBay it'll probably go. I can get rid of these. I was so duped into buying these, and I think it was Book Depository that I got them from, and you know, RIP Book Depository, but also they did me so dirty on these books. So these are illustrated novels. They're really popular. People really like these books. So there's the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, there's the Scumvillain's Self-Saving System, and there's also Heaven's Official Blessing. And the cover art for this, it's so beautiful. But the thing is, they were in the manga section and there was no info on them because these were getting, they got so popular, I think, in Chinese, like a big desire from international fans to have physical copies of these. So they're now being serialized. The thing is, they were in the manga section, they were advertised to me as manga, and the only thing you could see, like, there was no information on the book, it didn't have the pages, it didn't have like a release date, it didn't have anything, it just had kind of like there was no cover. I think it just had like a generic like cover to be decided, and so I bought them because they were advertised to me as manga, and I think I saw tweets about them, I think from Seven Seas, and they were in the manga section, so I bought them thinking that they were manga. They're not manga. I'm not reading this many words. That's a lot. Where's that TikTok sound that's like, that's a lot of words? Too bad I ain't reading them. I'm sure these stories are great. I'm sure they are. But I would literally never have bought them. I thought I thought I was getting pictures. Yeah, somebody else will want these way more than me. I could probably sell these as like a set, or maybe just like donate them as a set or something. I don't really know. But I'm never gonna read them, and I know that I'm not. What else to say? Oh, here we go. Here is another edition of The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. Again, look at, I love the edges on this. I love the freaking bee. It's so cool. Yeah, this one also has the foil. Like, I literally have to pick between these two. Like, are they exactly the same? Like, do any of these contain like a special anything? I'm pretty sure these are exactly this. Oh no, the ISBN is different. Please don't do this to me. Why is the ISBN just different because it's a special edition, or does it have like a foreword or like a bonus chapter? They're both signed. This might just be a different ISBN because it's a Goldsboro special edition. Who knows? I will have to pick between these because like black sprayed edges are my favourite, but like look at the little bee. So I'll figure one out, I guess. And I've made it to the end of a third box. Okay, so I think I'm gonna break there for today, but this is so hard. These are all the books that I'm going to be getting rid of. That's way more than I thought I would be able to do. So far I'm proud of myself. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with each book, but I do know that these ones, I just know that I'm not going to read them or continue with them, and I don't need to keep them. So far, here are the books that I've gone through that I'm keeping, which is so much smaller than like the get rid of pile, unless you count all this manga. And then this is my you're on thin ice, I'll test you, and I may or may not get rid of you pile. So I'm probably only about halfway through, maybe less. I wasn't even counting the amount of books that I've gone through, but I have so many more boxes in storage and like still loads in my room and maybe on my shelves as well. So we're nowhere near finished. But yeah, I will continue this definitely on a different day. So far though, I think this has been a good start. Hello, okay, so day 2 on the living room floor. Behind me I have 3 more, you can't see them. I have 3 more giant boxes of books. I think I still have like 4 or 5 at least still in the conservatory, and that isn't counting like anything that's on my shelves that might need sorting or anything that's like stacked in my room. I'm assuming if it's still in my room, it's newer. And therefore I maybe hopefully don't have to sort it. You'll probably also be glad to know that I am wearing cosmetic lenses again today, because I reviewed some of the footage from yesterday when I filmed, and it was very much giving that picture of that dog like that. Oh my god, I'm literally shaking. Buy her brown contacts, please. So sorry about that. That is, if you ever wonder why I always wear cosmetic lenses in videos, that is what I look like, this dog. Alright, so first I've got these lovely editions of the Jasmine Throne and the Olander Sword. These are new purchases. I'm definitely keeping these. That's totally fine. Some new copies of The Witcher. Okay, basically everything in that box is new or like a special edition, so I don't need to review it except for Shield Maiden by Sharon Emmerichs. Now, this is another Goldsboro special edition, although it does have like very simple King Beowulf. Okay, so this is following a female protagonist who is disabled, time of King Beowulf. I'm going to keep this because I really do like sort of Norse inspired stuff. Yeah, and because it's Beowulf, this does say it has a dragon in it, so okay. I am going to put this on the, I think I need to like do like a try a chapter tag. I would never have actively bought this for myself, but now that I have it, I figure I might as well try it. I need to give it a shot and see if I actually like it. I don't actually know if this is YA or adult. My guess would be YA, but it's so vague sometimes. Okay, this is a duplicate copy of We Sold Our Souls, and I'm so torn on this cover. I got this so that I could like take it out and about with me like last Halloween. I do have a much nicer version of this book, which I definitely will be keeping because I did really enjoy this. This is meant to look like a fake Rolling Stone cover, like a magazine cover. I adore like the gimmick, the aesthetic. I'm just not a massive fan of pictures of people on books. Now the thing is, this is like an old picture of this character because this is a young lady, and I think the main character is in her like 40s. It bothers me less because she wouldn't actually still look like this, and it is such a cool concept. But the thing is, do I need 2 copies of this book? I think what I might do is I might put this as a maybe, because sometimes when I really like a book and I want to recommend it to people, they ask to borrow my copy. Not happening. So sometimes for my favourite books, I do have like lending out copies, and I feel like this could be that kind of book. Like if somebody says, oh, can you let me borrow a good book? Because then I don't mind it getting beat up a little bit. So I'll probably put this on like the maybe pile, and then if I definitely run out of space I can unhaul it. For now I want to keep it. I liked this book. Is 2 copies problematic when I'm getting rid of so much else? Yes, maybe, but I don't have an excuse, but it's my book. Oh, okay, next. Some chunky books taking up space. These are the first editions, both signed, of House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath. The first one has sprayed edges. They didn't do anything sprayed for this one, but I think this is like a Waterstone special edition, so it might have like a bonus chapter or something in it, because they tend to. I have not read this series. I started buying it because a friend loves it and told me to read it. So, and you don't have to tell me, you know, very many times that I need to buy a book. I will just buy it. If you tell me to buy it, I'll just buy it. One of my toxic traits, but for absolutely no reason. I did buy one of the special editions of this set, I think because it just looked pretty, and I was like, maybe that'll convince me to read it. I am definitely going to get rid of these, but I kind of feel like I would like to sell them as a pair or a set. I'm definitely getting rid of these copies because the friend that loves them already has like the hardbacks, so. Blood of Ravens by Jen McIntosh. This one I bought fairly recently, but you know when you check a book to be like, I wonder how big the font is? This is font for ants. That's ridiculous. So this book is definitely twice as long as it looks, and it's already 500 pages. I mean, I'm keeping it, but I do not know when I'm going to get around to that. I mean, at least I'm getting a lot of book for not a lot of space taken up. Is that a way to think of things? Okay, The Beautiful by Renee Adia. Now, here is the thing. I have 2 copies of, actually I have 3 copies of this. No, I have 2, I gave one away. I'll figure out which ones match and which one I'm getting rid of. I'll put this in the get rid pile, but it might not be the exact edition I get rid of. Unless I find the other one in here somewhere. My copies of, or at least the first 2, I don't know where book 1 is. I have The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing. I do have an order though in for the Litjoy crate ones. It might be that these get replaced when those arrive, but it might be that I keep both because I'm like that sometimes, so I'm keeping these. I'm so unsure about this one. This is The Final Strife by Sarah L. Arifi. This is a slipcased special edition, so you do not, oh my god, it's really shiny. You don't get anything, there's no synopsis in here, there's no anything in here, and I've honestly just been too lazy to Google what this is about. I have heard mixed things about this. I think I've heard that it's really good, but slow. It's got a lot of female characters in it, but I think somebody said it might be, is this the one that's fat phobic? I can't quite recall. I will have to look that up. Essentially though, I like this copy. I'm just really not a fan of red and white, to be totally honest. So I think I'm gonna have to put this in the try a chapter pile and see what I think of it, because if I don't like this, I will 100% give this to my friend. I'll try it and see what I think, and I might love it. Who knows? Okay, next we have City of Dusk by Tara Sin. This is a Fairy Loot special edition, and my pet peeve about Fairy Loot is they will take a black cover and make it an inverted cover so it's white. I wish so much this was black. They should have just left it black. It does have some pretty foils underneath. This is I think this is the one about necromancers, I think. I don't think I've heard great things about Tara Sim. I feel like I've read something else, but what else has she done? Oh, she did Timekeeper, which was a book that I thought read extremely juvenile, despite being marketed for specifically an older teen audience. It's going in the try it pile because it's a lovely edition, and it has like a ruined bookmark and black edges, and I love black edges. It might be great vibes, do you know? It could be deliciously dark, maybe a little bit goth, who knows? But if it reads like it's written for teenagers, I'm gonna yeet it. So we'll put that in the try a chapter pile. Next is a really lovely special edition. This is not my vibe at all. This is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. However, I really appreciate just the punch in the face that this book is when you see it. They have lovely sprayed edges, although you can definitely see that mine is wonky and curved. The book itself is not warped, it's just the sprayed edges. I know that part of this is set in Yorkshire, which is a plus, but a bunch of it is set in London, which is a minus. I think most of it is set in London. A lot of it revolves around this child, or there's a child character that these other older witches are like concerned with or something. It has something to do with a plot or a prophecy. And I just don't care if the child is going to be like on the page as like an actual character. I just don't want to read it. And the thing is, book 2's come out, and again, I would love the matching special editions, but I just don't think I'm going to read this. I just know that I do not think I will like this book. I get to get rid of it. And we're down a second box. I'm doing really good today. Oh god, here we go with the manga. You're going to see my very problematic manga collection now. I mean, just to give you an idea, I probably buy the same amount of manga as I do books. I think I own the same amount of manga as I do books. I just don't show you guys. Okay, this is a collection of Shakespeare. This is like a vintage collection and it smells that way, but this was a gift. I think my mum got me this from a charity shop, so I'm keeping it because it was a nice gift. Oh, okay, the longest book I own, 2,000 pages plus Norton anthology of poetry. This was from my uni days. I had to carry this book every single day on campus. Do you have any idea how heavy this is? It's basically just, it's every fucking poem ever. It's literally every poem ever. I'm obviously gonna keep this because it's every poem ever. It's not actually every single poem ever, but I'm keeping it because I really do like poetry. I'm a nerd, I'm sorry guys. I like language. Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. I still haven't read this. God, I need to read this. Not because I'm excited to, I just need to get it done with. I didn't like this series. I like Grisha, I really liked the Six of Crows duology. Wish it stayed as a duology, but we're getting more. I wish this series didn't exist, to be totally honest. I just don't think we needed it, but maybe this book goes somewhere. I accidentally bought like 3 or 4 copies of this book. This is the reverse edition, so normally they're red with like a silver foil. This is white with red foil, and I don't like it. So actually, I am going to get rid of this edition, and I'm going to keep a different edition. Oh, and Shadow and Bone. This is the US collector's edition. It looks lovely, but to be totally honest, I think I like the UK one more. And I have the paperbacks, so do I need this? It's so cute, but like, honestly, the feel of the American ones as well is just not great. It does come with a slipcase, but I can get rid of it. I've done all 3 boxes already. I feel like I'm annoyed at the speed that I'm going. I'm actually not. I'm pleased that I'm getting through these books. It just, the other 5 boxes are in such a hard place to get in storage that I now have to try and go and get them.
A few moments later.
Okay, I've had to move around slightly because this box is massive. Okay, first on top I am seeing A Salson's Compassion by Jacob Peppers. I bought this because I thought it was going to be something else. I'm just not going to read it, I'm sorry, I'm getting rid of it. I do have a whole video on why I DNF'd, like, every book that I tried to pick up for a couple months, and that was one of them. Strange Weather in Tokyo. I read this, I liked it, I thought it was fine. Am I going to reread it? No. Do I ever really think about it? Not unless I'm actively discussing Japanese literature. Do I need this book for any reason? I don't think I do, so I'll get rid of it. Then we have Bloodstained Tea by Amy Tasakada. I think it's like an ex-Yakuza guy who owns a tea shop in Tokyo, or it might even be in Kyoto. And one night he finds an unconscious man who's also, I think, a Yakuza. It's literally the fanfiction trope of finding injured gangster and nursing them back to health. And I think it's just like a gay romance. There was a reason that I put this down and I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna keep it for a trier chapter just because it's self-published, so I want to give it a second chance, and I'm so convinced that I'm probably not going to like it, and I don't know why. I think I just remember really being disappointed by it the first time I tried it, but it was during that month where everything I read wasn't what I wanted to read, so that could have just been my brain. So I will give it another chance. We'll put it in the try a chapter challenge thing. I'm gonna have to try a lot of chapters. This one is The Actual Star by Monica Byrne. This came with no dust jacket. It is a naked hardcover, which I wish they'd just given me a freaking dust jacket, to be honest. I'm gonna hate editing this. I have arachnophobia. This is a kind of spider that I think isn't actually a spider, but maybe it is. But I don't like looking at it, and where do I put that? I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it. The Righteous by Renee Adia. I've already said I'm definitely gonna read this series. I need to continue that. I keep meaning to, like, every October I keep thinking, oh, let's read about, like, you know, angsty vampire romance, and then I never do. So yeah, keeping this one. And I've come to the end of another box. It turned out it was mostly manga. Like, this is the manga stack of only 2 boxes. So I'm not getting rid of any manga though. So I'm so paranoid every single time I open a box that a spider is gonna come out of it. I keep pushing them really far away when I open them. I don't know why my anxiety is getting so bad. Alright, okay, books on top. So, I have Brother Red by Adrian Selby. There are literally only 300 copies of this in hardback in the world, so I'm not getting rid of this. Okay, this is one I've been meaning to read for years. It is The Monk by Matthew Lewis. I got this in Whitby. I keep meaning to read this, and every single year that I go to read it, I always go to read it in like October time, and I can never freaking find it. So I'm gonna keep this downstairs. I'm gonna put it on that little fucking shelf, and I'm gonna know where it is when I actually want to read it. Ghostly violence, festival of sex, gothic, magic. I'm so down for that. I'm so down for that. I want to read this every single Halloween, and I can never find it, so it's going on that shelf. Oh, do you know what promised to be gothic and sexy and just was not? Yeah, The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This book sucked royal ass. So many ways. It was so bad. I have a whole rant on my channel about it, and this book gaslights you so freaking bad. It boils down to, this book tells you to your face that it is feminist and its characters are feminist, and yet they are so anti-feminist, and it's like they soapbox while being so problematic and girl-hatey. It's unbelievable. In the way that it tries to be a Slytherin romance, or so it put it. It actually just makes all of its, like, its main characters colonizers, basically. It's like, yeah, by Slytherin romance, I mean, they're just colonizers. Babe, that's not it. This book is so bad. Oh, it contradicts itself so many times as well. I tabbed this, I read this, hated it so much that I went back and tabbed it. Can you see all of these tabs? I tabbed this in like 20 minutes before I started filming, just so I could reference things. It's atrocious. This is one of the worst books I've ever read. It was hilariously bad. I think I gave it a 2 stars though, just because of how hilariously bad it was. It also reads like My Immortal, because it's just outfit change after outfit change after I think there were like 17 outfits described in just maximal detail in this book, and like, look at the size of it. I hate this book so much, but part of me wants to keep it so bad because, like, first of all, it's tabbed. It's gloriously tabbed, and I tab books so rarely, and I think it's hilarious. I'm gonna keep this, I think, just to lend out to people with my tabs in because you're gonna have to know every single time I was so I'm looking so annoyed with everything in this freaking book. I'm keeping this, I'm putting it on that little shelf, but specifically only to inflict it upon other people. People who trusted me. It's fine, I'm up to mischief. What else have we got? Okay, earlier, I was talking about the Daughter of Smoke and Bone books. Now, this is the old cover, which I really like, but it's over the new sprayed foiled quotation editions. Now, there's nothing else really special about these. I think, are they pen signed? So I reckon this is what I'll do. I think I'm gonna take the old covers and put them on the new editions. Where the others are, I still don't know. But this edition I'm definitely keeping. Heavy book. This is Master Artificer by Justin Cole. I keep meaning to read the first book in this series. It was on like my most hyped books of whatever year. I had to buy a blacklight because these books have secret messages from the author in them, written in like UV ink pen. It's just so cool. I do have 2 editions of this book, and I need to figure out, I think they both have blacklight in, but I just need to figure out which one's like, which one is more special, which one has more signed shit in it. Because both of the editions I have of this are special editions, so I will figure that out. Star Wars Light of the Jedi. This book annoys me so much because this is a beautiful colour scheme. This is one of my favourite colours ever. I love this like beautiful dark teal, and it goes so well with like this like parchmenty beige and gold. This is a beautiful book. This is a Goldsboro special edition, so this is signed and numbered. I just don't care about Star Wars. I'm so sorry. I tried so hard to care about Star Wars, which is sad. I know it's such a big IP. I know people love it, but I've tried. I just can't get into it. It's like DC. It's like I just can't get into anything DC. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I'm a nerd, but I can only nerd so far, and I nerd in a different direction to this, so I'm getting rid of this. Ooh. This is The Cuckoo by Leo Carew. I have another edition, and it's a signed sprayed special edition. So this is a duplicate. I can get rid of this. I only got this because the other version was taking its pissing time to get to me, and I needed to read it immediately, so I have this one. Another box down. I'm so scared that it's when I get to the boxes at the bottom that are on the floor. I'm so scared of spiders, guys. I'm so scared of spiders. Do you know, I'm going to take you with me to show you just how freaking hard it is to get to these boxes. But like, if I'm stood here, how am I supposed to get these? Do you have any idea how much these weigh? Yes, I threw some glue at what I thought was a spider. Breach of Peace by Daniel Green. I'm definitely keeping this. This is the signed edition. I do have 2 editions of this, so one of them can go, but this is the signed one, so I'll keep this edition. Ooh, Voices by David Elliott. I liked the concept of this. I did not like the execution. It didn't pull it off. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I feel like between every shot of a book, the manga behind me grows. Okay, Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Good book. I'm gonna keep this. It's also really cool to just be like if I put this out, I don't own a coffee table, but if I did, and I put this out, how long before people notice it's weird? Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I definitely will read this. I do need to get round to it, but I've heard good things, so I will keep this. Here is my copy, my actual copy of Small Angels by Lauren Owen. I'm so salty that this wasn't what I wanted it to be. I don't know if eventually I will reflect and be like, I know it was trying to be something different, and I just don't think that the thing it was trying to be is what I wanted. I might end up getting rid of it in the future, but I'm gonna hang on to it for now. Oh, Dreams of the Dying. Dreams of the Dying by Nicholas Litzau. I freaking love this book so much. I do have the hardback edition as well, but I want to keep the paperback. I have, in this whole 800-page book, I have, for some reason, a single tab. I have such good memories of this book as well. And then we have The Octonomy. It probably is going to be good. It's like you're reading, I think it's a book, but also it's like you're reading files on something, and it's beautiful. So I will keep this. Okay, never mind, I found at least 2 more boxes. If there's more in my room, I don't want to go back up there. The Historian, I hauled that recently. I'm definitely keeping that, but this is a paperback, so it can go on that little shelf. See, more manga. This is like the same, this is the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. This is like the same as the books that I mentioned yesterday that tricked me into thinking they were manga. This one, however, is actually manga, or it's manhwa, but it is in colour. That is what I thought I was getting with all of them. Oh, here we go. I pre-ordered this and then forgot that I had done so. It's the special paperback of Empire of the Vampire. Now this has an exclusive bonus chapter, which I will go in and read before book 2 comes out. Oh, Anno Dracula. This is another book that, it's a vampire one, and I've hauled it recently because I want to read more vampires, so definitely keeping that. Daughter of Red Winter by Ed McDonald. I'm currently reading my way through Ed McDonald's other series, the Raven's Mark trilogy, which is really good. This, I think, is his first foray into a YA fantasy, and I do think that Ed McDonald had written this before he wrote Blackwing, and then after Blackwing he went back and has like now published this one. I do intend to read this at some point though, so onto the keep pile it goes. Okay, here it is. This is book 1. This is The Grimm Company. As I said, I'm definitely keeping this series, so Beneath the Keep by Erica Johansson. I have such mixed feelings about the Queen of the Tealing trilogy, or just the Tealing trilogy I think it's called. I really liked book 1, and then several years later I picked up book 2 and despised it. I thought book 3 was going to just make everything worth it. It was so good. Up until the very end, and it's the most cop-out, miserable, pathetic little ending I've ever had the misfortune to read in any book ever. I genuinely thought it was a joke at one point. I was reading it like, there's no way this is actually happening to me. Am I in like, was it 2018, 2019 when I read it? Was I being punked? Unbeknownst to me? No, that was just the end of the book. Fucking sucked. This is a prequel. I said I would never read from this author again because I was so genuinely offended as a reader at having been made to read that shitty ending. I'm actually mad about it still. It's been years. But this is a prequel, and it does follow my favourite character of the main series. I said I'd get it and try it, which I will do, so I'm gonna keep it. Just know that when I read that book, it's just gonna be salt for days. Oh my god, speaking of salty. Yeah, I bought this for £1 in a charity shop. This is the prequel to the Belgariad. This is Belgarath the Sorcerer. I bought this thinking that I would eventually like to read the Belgariad because I know it's much beloved in the fantasy community, I guess. And then I got back to my desk because I bought this on my lunch break. I've told this story before. I decided to look up the authors and discovered that David and Lee Eddings, who wrote these books together, adopted children for the sole purpose of locking them in cages in their basements and beating them. This is before they were authors, and then they moved cross-country after serving some jail time, because obviously you would serve jail time, and then went on to be really famous. And I think if they were, it was like when you get asked about a gap on your resume, when they get asked, you know, like, what were you doing like the past few years? I think they said like they upped and moved because they wanted a change, or because David had like got a new job or like lost his job or something. That's not what happened. They went to jail for severe child abuse and just never told anyone about it and just got away with it. And I know they're separating the art from the artist, but I don't want to read these. I don't. And I know that the only reason that David had Lee Eddings come to write, like, on his books, they were all solely attributed to him, but it turned out that he just couldn't be bothered to write female characters, and that she basically wrote all of the female characters. He would bring the plot to her, and she would basically say what all of the female characters were doing, and, like, help him with, like, occasional plot points. And I'm like, do I really want to read that? Like, I'm sorry, David Eddings, is it that fucking hard to see women as people and to not beat children? Do I want to read this? I'm getting rid of it. It was £1. I don't fucking need it. I don't have to read the Belgariad. I will hang on to, this is Tad Williams' Siege, so this is To Green Angel Tower Part 1. I will read this, and also the Dark Sword Trilogy Book 1, Forging the Dark Sword. I will read these two. These I got at the same time. They're just like kind of older. I think these are these 90s? Okay, my camera just died, so I ran upstairs to get another battery, and I found another 2 boxes. When I tell you the books start coming and they don't stop coming, but somehow some sort of like wormhole bullshittery has been going on here. This is an unopened fairy loot. This is an unopened fairy loot, and it's not one of the ones that's been delivered to me in the past couple months because I know where those are. I think this is my missing book of night. I have been missing this book since it came out. I thought that like my neighbours might have it. I've looked everywhere for this. This must have been somewhere else in someone else's pile of shit, and then after I've looked in like all the storage locations, it's then been put in there afterwards. Impromptu unboxing. I suppose technically I am unboxing like everything that I own, but this is the Into the Shadows box from May 2022. I mean, I might as well do this now because I'm figuring out where shit's going. I love this. And the quotation on the back, that's too much, I'm not reading it. Yeah, as an alternate cover, I do like this one. For once, Fairy Loot took something that had white on it and just made it all black. Black edges, love them. Really nice artwork on the end papers. I've heard this is so mediocre. Which honestly, initially I wanted to read it because it's Holly Black and I liked the Folk of Air series. But to be honest, I just want to see how shit it is at this point. I'm honestly interested in seeing how bad it could be. And maybe because I expect it to be really bad, it won't be as bad as I think. Or maybe it'll be worse. That and I have gone through I thought this book was lost. I thought it was long gone. I have to read it at this point, so of course I'm keeping it. I'm gonna have to put that in my next haul video. Okay, back to the boxes. Grady Hendrix' How to Sell a Haunted House. I'm definitely keeping this. I want to read that maybe around Halloween. Ugh. Chunky collection of Lovecraft. Hate the man, but love this style of writing. I'm probably going to put this on the little shared shelf downstairs. Red Seas Under Red Skies. This can go downstairs. This is the paperback copy. I have a nicer hardcover edition. These are the copies that I do read, and I do really like these copies. I just lent my mum, I made the mistake of lending her The Lies of Lochlamora. It took her like 6 months, 7 months to read it. She's bent it all out of shape. It was basically destroyed, and then the day that she finished reading it, she spilled water all over it. She spilled a drink on it, so this is going to go on the shared shelf because I guess this series is now in serious disrepair, and maybe she'll want to spend the next 7 months reading this one. Oh, this is a different edition I have of The Curse of Chalion. This is one of my favourite books ever. I bought this edition so that my mum could read it because for obvious reasons, I did not want to give her my edition. She read it and thought it was fine, so this is now my lending out copy. Dictionary of Saints. I got this secondhand from my grandparents. It is disgusting. It is horribly beat up. This book is so old. It's making my mouth and all of my skin dry to touch it. But I am keeping it, but it can go on the shit shelf. Next I have The Baker's Boy by J.V. Jones. Again, this was just, if you have a beat up, chunky, like older sort of retro fantasy paperback, I will buy it. Especially when it's £1. I think this was like cheaper than £1 actually. I think this was like 50p when I got it. It might have been discounted. I will read this. Oh, here we go. Skyborn by David Dalglish. I got this because I really liked a preview I read of this, which was great. But the actual writing sucks and I don't think I like the story and I don't want to read it. So it can go. Here we go. I think this box is mostly things that I intended to get rid of, so this should be quick. Sister Song by Lucy Holland. I just don't think this is a story for me. It's such a shame because it's a beautiful copy, and I think this does feature a trans character. It's just the fact that it's set in like medieval Britain. It's a low fantasy if anything. I'm not interested in the setting, and I'm not really interested in reading about like, I don't know, a sisterly relationship, treachery and heartbreak, fighting for their own paths, the destiny of Britain. It's just not for me, I'm so sorry. So I think somebody else will really like this more than me, but it's gonna fall over if I put it there, so I'm gonna put it on the floor. Spells for Forgetting by Adrian Young. This is a beautiful edition. I love these sprayed edges. I think they are gorgeous. This is such a beautiful book. I think I'm going to give this to my friend. She loves scenery like this, as do I, which is why I wish the book in here was better. But it's a modern day, this has got to be set in Canada or America for sure. It's a modern day romance that has, I think, very minor fantasy aspects in it. It's not what I want when I go looking for a fantasy, so goodbye. Want by Cindy Pon. I had this on like a should I DNF it, should I not DNF it, like when I talked about books that I might get rid of, because I just don't think I'm ever going to finish this series. And I think when I mentioned it, quite a lot of people were just like, just get rid of all these books, just all the ones that you're unsure about, just DNF them. So I'm taking your advice and I'm going to get rid of that. 1,000 Beginnings and Endings. This was fine, but it's a short story collection. I don't need to read it again, so it can go. I'm so sad about this one because it had dragons in it. The Adamantine Palace by Stephen Dees. I wanted to like this so much, but it was just so boring. I think what the author was trying to do was like the shock value thing of things like Game of Thrones where like no character is safe, you know what I mean? The way they did it was they would introduce a POV character and kill them at the end of their own chapter, and then they would introduce a different POV character and then kill them at the end of their chapter, and then introduce a different, do you see where I'm going? It happens so much in this book. The characters that you see multiple times, and some of them do die at the end of their chapters, but they just don't get a whole lot of personality. And the thing is, there are a lot of diverse female characters in this book, and there's a dragon POV, and there's like a morally grey or very unlikable sort of like a major POV in this, and I just felt nothing reading any of them. So I wanted to like this so much. It was like a medievalathon read from like, I think like 2019. It was just super disappointing for me though, so it's going. Next we have this lovely kawaii as fuck edition of the Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. Again, this is, it's really nice, but I hate foils of people, so I actually don't care about the foils at all, which is rare for me. But I love this colour scheme. I would love if a fantasy book had this exact colour scheme. This just like super like, it's almost like candy coloured. I love it. I love this colour scheme so much. Alas, it's just not the book that I want. It's a romance, low fantasy. The title is a pun. I know I'm not going to like this. It's not for me. The book was not made for me. The aesthetic is so me. Little like flowers. I love teal. I love the shade of pink. It's beautiful. I'm so salty that this isn't the book for me. So I'm going to get rid of it. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I really do like the cover for this one, but yeah, I read it, didn't like it. Am I ever going to read it again? Do I need to reach for it again? No. Will I ever talk about it again? Not unless I'm getting rid of it, so I guess this is the last time. Okay, King of Ashes by Raymond E. Feist. Now, this is one where I know this author is very popular, and I know this is like the start of a new series, and I get a feeling that it will be good, because I think Feist is quite a well-known, well-respected author, or like is at least quite a prolific fantasy author. I think he's written quite a lot. I just don't know if this is the right series to start with. I do know that I want to read from this author, I just don't know if this is the right one. So what I might do is I'll keep this until such a time as I know where I'm starting, because if it turns out this is a good place to start, I don't want to have to go and source another copy. So I will keep this up until the point where I know that I'm either getting rid of it and starting something else, or I'm going to read it. I will save this one. I think out of all these books that are from like an earlier video I did where I was asking you guys if I should unhaul them or not, I think this is the first one that I've decided to save. So, oh, and I think, my god, do I fucking hope. I think that was the last book. So these are the 3 books that I am keeping around for like a try a chapter book video challenge, I guess. These here are all the books that I am keeping, but which can go on that tiny little shelf in the corner behind the Lord of the Rings picture and the other Lord of the Rings picture. We have a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. Ignoring the mountain of manga, so this is the other pile of books I am keeping, but which I think I'm going to move upstairs. And this here is the stack of books that I am definitely going to be getting rid of. Okay, so I absolutely have to keep my hand on them, otherwise they will fall down. But these are all the books that I'm going to be getting rid of. So there are, I'm going to count these. 33 books! I'm getting rid of 33 books. So, wow. Go me! And a lot of other books I have put up for contention for like future unhauls. So, but on that note, I am actually really glad that I've managed to, I guess, free up this much space and decide that I'm not, like, I don't need to hold on to these books old titles, new titles, things I've been meaning to read for years. I can't read everything, it's just not possible. Even if I lived like a little monk in like a little walled up room, which I know that like living in a little walled up room with a load of books and never speaking to anyone and never seeing the light of day, that actually sounds like an okay time to me. But yeah, these, look at all of these. 33 books is a lot. I know some of them are like tiny like this, but some of them are fucking chunky. Okay, so these are all gonna fall down. So what I am going to do is I'm going to really quickly blitz through everything that I'm getting rid of. So I know the light is fading and this is a different setup, but I'm just going to blitz through really quick of everything I'll be getting rid of. So books that are going are Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami, Want by Cindy Pon, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson, The Grand Master of Demonic Cultivation, The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System, and Heaven's Official Blessing. And these are all by, I think it is pronounced Mo Shang Tongshu. Please correct me in the comments if I am wrong. A Sellsword's Compassion by Jacob Peppers. Harrow of the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Belgariath the Sorcerer by David and Lee Eddings. Skyborn by David Dalgleish. The Adamantine Palace by Stephen Dees. A Thousand Beginnings and Endings by Ellen O, Elsie Chapman and various authors. Voices by David Elliott. The Beautiful Cassandra by Jane Austen. The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. Spells for Forgetting by Adrian Young. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. Lost in Time by A.G. Riddle. The Embroidered Book by Kate Hartfield. Absinthe by Brendan P. Bellencourt. Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Rule of Wolves and Shadow and Bone, both by Leigh Bardugo. Small Angels by Lauren Owen. House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. Sister Song by Lucy Holland. Ordinary Monsters by J. M. Miro. The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. The Actual Star by Monica Byrne. And a duplicate copy of The Cuckoo by Leo Carew, because I would never get rid of this otherwise. So, thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm not sure how long this is going to turn out to be, but thank you for sticking with me while I sort through my books and decide what I am and I'm not going to keep. This is the first time I've ever done like a video like this, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to do this again anytime soon, but I guess the book storage situation will have to speak for itself. So if you did make it this far, first of all, thank you. Second of all, leave me like a little book stack emoji, because have we seen the stacks? I am surrounded by book stacks. And let me know either what is the last book that you unhauled, or just a book that honestly you really need to unhaul. Yeah, thankfully that is the end of this video. That is about it from me. And hopefully I will maybe see you again in the next one. Bye.